Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hey, everybody, Charles here, and welcome to another great show. Let me ask you something. Sometimes things happen in your life and it just throws you off. I mean, it throws you off. You kind of get your mind right. Things are unexcited. Everything's just messing you up. What do you do about it? How do you get your mind back on track? You have a business to run. You have things to do. You have a new show to do. Like I got my show to do. And sometimes, am I here? Am I focused? Well, I got somebody to help us out today. Let's welcome our special guest. Let's get it right.
Hi there.
Hi, Debbie. How you doing?
I'm great. Thank you. Looking forward to our conversation.
Yes, me, myself, and I. Because I say me, myself, and I. Because sometimes when things happen, I feel like there's three of me. You know what I mean? My mind gets all different places. You got the one that wants to react, one that gets all excited and, sick, and one gets all frustrated because something happened and you can't just get them all back together into one head. But before we talk about that, let's talk about you. Born and raised, where are you from?
New York and California. I go back and forth every few weeks. 3 out of my 4 kids are on the other coast, so mama's not staying away. So I do a whole lot of traveling, but it's good. I have clients all over the world, and it's both great places to be.
Nice. So growing up, what was the dream? What would you focus on?
I had no idea I'd be doing what I'm doing now. I mean, it's my 30th year in business, and it was health and then mindset and then personal development. And now to be running the PBT Betrayal Transformation Institute, the only space to heal physically, mentally, emotionally from the betrayal of a family member, partner, friend, coworker, self. Never saw that coming, but here I am.
Okay. So you just dream about, you're going different avenues. And then, as everybody knows, growing through your life, you're always going to have betrayal. You're always going to have things for little kids. Oh, I'm not your friend anymore. If you don't give me this, we won't be friends. And you think, oh my God, I got to be your friend. So I have to give you my toy to be, then you're growing up in your teenage years and you think you have the girlfriend of your life and the boyfriend of your life. And then it doesn't work out. And then there's heartache and breakup. So what is the levels?
Yeah. You name some of them. Now, here's what's even crazier about what you said. That girlfriend or boyfriend who broke your heart in high school, the parent who did something awful when you were a kid, if that isn't deliberately and intentionally healed, it follows you around through your entire adult life. And I did a PhD study, made 3 discoveries. And one of them is that there's actually this collection of symptoms so common to betrayal. It's known as post-betrayal syndrome. And I'm happy to share some of the stats from that quiz. But the symptoms that you could be experiencing, that you're thinking it's due to stress, that you're thinking it's due to aging, whatever, it may be due to that unhealed betrayal from, I'm not kidding, decades ago.
So it's just sitting in the back of your head.
It's not just sitting in your head. It's in your body. I mean, this is physical, mental, and emotional. Oh, wow. Yeah. And it affects your health, your work, your relationships. Like I'll see an unhealed betrayal in relationships, let's say, in 2 ways. Mm-hmm. The first, repeat betrayal. Classic sign of an unhealed betrayal. The faces change. You're like, why is it that I go from boss to boss to boss, friend to friend to friend, partner to partner to partner? Is it me? Yes, it is. Not in that it's your fault, in that it's your opportunity. There is a profound lesson needing to be learned. You are lovable, worthy, deserving. You need better boundaries in place, whatever it is. Until and unless you get that, you're going to have opportunities in the form of people to teach you. The other way we see it, and I'm sure you know people like this, the big wall goes up. Nope, been there, done that. No one's getting there again. We think it's coming from a place of strength. It's not. It's coming from fear. Your heart was so shattered, you are not willing to risk that level of vulnerability ever again. So we're keeping the bad ones out. We're keeping the good ones out too. We see it in health. People go to the most well-meaning doctors, coaches, healers, therapists to manage stress-related symptom, illness, condition, disease. At the root of it is an unhealed betrayal. See it at work too. You want that raise or promotion. You deserve it, but your confidence was shattered in the betrayal. So you don't have the confidence to ask, or you want to be that team player, collaborative partner, joint venture partner, but the person you trusted the most proved untrustworthy. How do you trust that boss, that coworker, that partner? Shows up everywhere.
So every little bit is actually creeping on and staying with you some form, some shape, somehow.
Unless you heal it, unless you deliberately and intentionally heal it. And I'm happy to go through some of the discoveries and share exactly what I'm talking about if you want.
All right. So before we do that,
Yeah, sure.
when you're young,
Hmm.
you don't know that you're carrying the baggage.
Right.
So how do you kind of heal when you're young?
Yeah. Here's the thing. It is so common to move into all your adult relationships and have betrayal because that's what you know. Like, let's say you grew up with narcissistic parents, right? Or some level of abuse or whatever. On some level, it's like, oh, okay, I know this. I know how this works. I know how to
Mhm.
manage myself in this situation. So it feels on some level familiar. Not that it's good, it's just
Right.
familiar. And until we realize, wait a second, familiar is actually not a good thing for me. That's when we can do the work to heal. Or, from those experiences, you think you're unlovable, unworthy, not deserving, whatever. You'll find, relationships to prove that. And if you look at your life is a complete example of the beliefs you hold. Every single thing, every single person, place in your life
Hmm.
shows you where your beliefs are currently at.
So is it a pattern?
It's a pattern until and unless you break it. And that's why those repeat betrayals are such a great way for you to see, wait a second, I keep getting opportunities in the form of
Hmm.
these people to teach me something. And then usually what happens is you get the mother of all betrayals and you were like, oh, that is it. I'm never doing this, that, the other thing. Lesson learned, right? You finally put yourself on your own to-do list. You take your needs seriously, whatever it
Yep.
is. You do
Yep.
the work to heal and you just don't, it doesn't happen again. And I see that all the time.
Definitely, definitely. Because I can throw back and I'm thinking, yep, been there, done that. Kind of held a grudge. Yep, kind of held a grudge, and yeah, didn't trust this person. Now I'm
Mhm.
hesitant, but I totally get what you're saying. Now it's there, and you just gotta learn to let it go. So all right, so let's get into the nitty gritty. How do we move forward?
Yeah. So that was actually the third discovery. And for me, it was the most exciting of all the discoveries. What we learned was while we can stay stuck for years, decades, a lifetime, and so many people do, if we're going to fully heal, excuse me, we're going to move through 5 now proven predictable stages. And what's even more exciting about that is we know what happens physically, mentally, and emotionally at every one of those stages. And we know what it takes to move from one stage to the next. Healing is entirely predictable. Happy to go through the 5 stages if you want.
All right, so we're gonna do that, but guess what? We're gonna do that after we take a quick break. We'll be right back. Don't go nowhere. I know you guys are excited for the 5 steps, so here, get your pen, get your paper, get your pencil, and let's go. We'll be right back. CMJ Entertainment is a one-stop shop. CMJ Entertainment helps people do any type of events, and it's a marketing tool as well. So we'll cover everything from start to finish. If it's a wedding, we'll make sure your wedding is over the top. And if it's an event, we make sure that everybody gets information at the end of the day. Give us a call at 416-414-8964 or online, go to cmjent.com. Yeah. We're back live. We're having some fun. We're giving you some information, but we have to do something that we always do and we can't forget to do it. It's called rapid fire. All right, this is a time where we get to know you a little bit more. We put 2 minutes on the clock, and then you got to answer these questions. You can elaborate so we get to know you a little bit more. But remember, you got 2 minutes on the clock, and you got to get through them within the 2 minutes. So give us A, B, C, or D, and then those are the questions we're gonna give you. Which ones you want? A, B, C, or D?
Oh, A.
A. All right. 2 minutes starts now on the clock, and then we're gonna do some rapid fire. All right. Question number 1: what is your favorite drink?
Water. Oh, how boring is that? That is true.
When are you most productive?
Morning.
Who inspires you and why?
The members of the PBT Institute, because they are moving through the hardest thing ever.
Summer or winter?
Summer.
Something that's happening into your life right now that you're excited about.
Oh, we have a new rebuild program that's actually for the betrayer. So we're giving them a chance to just show up powerfully, fully, and become someone they're proud of.
There you go. What's your favorite number and why?
Four kids.
Oh, that was easy. Favorite cake flavor?
Chocolate.
How do you start your day?
Meditation.
What was your worst subject in school?
Ugh, math.
What was your best subject in school?
English. I've written 6 books because of it.
There you. What scares you?
What scares me? Oh, I don't know. Not doing everything that I'm meant to do while I'm here.
Cats or dogs?
Oh, absolutely dogs. We have 4 right now. We've had 6 forever. Yeah, dogs.
What do you feel your gift is?
Inspiring people to realize that they can transform after betrayal.
And what was one thing you would change about yourself?
One thing, patience. I have none.
And last one, 28 seconds. What is your hobby?
My hobby, personal development, time in nature, fun with friends, being with my kids, my dogs, my husband.
There you go, with 18 seconds left. So I like it. A couple of things you said in there. You got some new programs that are coming out, which is fantastic. But the ones I like it's not for, what did you say it was for the betrayer, not the betrayee?
Yeah, the PBT, the Post-Betrayal Transformation Institute, is to help someone who's been betrayed fully heal and move through those 5 stages we I mentioned. But we have a new program called the Rebuild program, and 2 types of betrayers. One, they're just on to the next, no remorse, no regret, no empathy. I'm talking about the ones who realize I just blew up my life and destroyed the heart and the trust of the people that really had faith in me. It's for them. And we are reworking them so they just absolutely they become that person that they're ready to become. It's a powerful program, and the people so far who've gone through it, they're amazing. Whether they reconcile with their partner or at least they're a better partner for someone.
I like that. I like that program, because sometimes you do make mistakes. Don't get me wrong. We all make mistakes, but how do you come back from that mistake? How do you do it properly? You know what I mean?
They don't know how. And that's the thing, or they don't know how to help their partner. They don't know how to help themselves. They have so much shame and regret and remorse. And so they're sitting there with all that. That's not doing anything for anybody. So we're working with them directly, how to move through that, how to just make up for all of it, how to truly become someone that they're really proud of and excited to become.
I like that, because a lot of people don't know how to apologize properly.
No, and it's way more than an apology. It's becoming a different person, and they're ready for it. They're ready for it. And then when the betrayed person is ready for it too, the 2 of them can meet up at a whole different level. That's a power couple then.
All right. Listen, we held them hostage long enough. Let's give them the 5 tips. Let's go. I got my pencil, my paper ready. Let's go.
Okay. So it's all mapped out in trust again. It's what our coaches are certified in. It's what we do within the PBT Institute. But here we go. Stage 1 is a setup stage. And if you can imagine 4 legs of a table, the 4 legs being physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual, what I saw with everybody was me too, a real heavy lean on the physical and the mental thinking and doing, kind of neglecting the emotional and the spiritual feeling and being. Well, if a table has 2 legs, easy for that table to topple over. That's us. Stage 2, shock, trauma, D-Day, Discovery Day, the scariest of all of the stages. And it's the breakdown of the body, the mind, and the worldview. You got the news right here. That shatters life as you've known it. You've ignited the stress response. You're headed for every single stress-related symptom, condition, disease. Your mind is in a complete state of overwhelm. It's like, what just happened? And your worldview is shattered. Your worldview is your mental model, the rules that govern you, that prevent chaos. The bottom has bottomed out, and the new bottom hasn't been formed yet. This is terrifying. But think about it. If the bottom were to bottom out on you, what would you do? You grab hold of anything you could to stay safe and stay alive. That's stage 3. Survival instincts emerge. It's the most practical out of all of the stages. If you can't help me, get out of my way. How do I survive this experience? Who can I trust? Here's the trap, though. This is the most common place to get stuck. And you know so many people right here in this very space. And here's why. Once we figured out how to survive our experience, because it feels so much better than the shock and trauma of where we just came from, we think it's good. And because we don't know there's anywhere else to go, we don't know there's a stage 4 or stage 5. Transformation doesn't even begin until stage 4. But we don't know there's anywhere else to go. So we start planting roots here. We're not supposed to, but we don't know that. And 4 things happen. The first thing is we start getting all those small self benefits. You get your story, you get to be right. You get sympathy from everyone you tell your story to. So you plant deeper roots. Again, you're not supposed to, but you don't know that. And now that you're here longer than you should be, the mind starts doing things like, well, maybe you're not all that great. Maybe you deserved it. So you plant deeper roots. Again, you're not supposed to be here, but you don't know that. Now, because these are the thoughts you're thinking, well, this is the energy you're putting out. Like energy attracts like energy. So now you're calling situations and circumstances and relationships towards it to confirm, yep, this is where you belong. Gets worse, but I'll get you out of here. Because it feels so bad, but you don't know there's anywhere else to go, right here, you resign yourself. You're like, this stinks, but I have to raise my kids. Like, I have to work. Right here is where we start using food, drugs, alcohol, work, TV, keeping busy, whatever it is. So think about this. You do it for a day, a week, a month. Now it's a habit, a year, 10 years, 20 years. Charles, I could see someone 20 years out and say that drinking you're doing or that emotional eating you're doing, numbing in front of the TV, do you think that has anything to do with your betrayal? And they would look at me like I'm crazy. And they'd say it happened 20 years ago. All they did was lock themselves in stage 3 and stay there. That makes sense?
Okay.
Yeah. So, and that's actually why I wrote From Hardened to Healed. It is just for stage 3. I'm like, you've been through the worst of it already. You owe it to yourself to move through all the stages. Anyway, if you're willing to let go of the small self benefits and everything you get from it, you move to stage 4. Stage 4 is finding and adjusting to a new normal. So here's where you acknowledge, I can't undo what happened, but I control what I do with it. Right there in that decision, you start turning down the stress response. You're not healing just yet, but at least you stop the massive damage you've been creating in stages 2 and stage 3. Stage 4 feels like if you've ever moved. If you ever moved to a new house, office, condo, apartment, whatever, your stuff isn't there. It's not all cozy yet, but you're like, okay, we got this. We can do this. That's what stage 4 feels like. But here's the thing. If you were to move, you don't take everything with you. You don't take the things that don't represent who you're ready to be in that new space. And what I found was if your friends weren't there for you, you don't take them with you. Lots of changes in friendships as you move to this next stage. Very common. People say to me all the time, what the heck? I've had these friends 10, 20, 30 years. Is it me? Yes, it is. You're undergoing a transformation. If they don't rise, they don't come. Anyway, when you've settled into this space, mentally you've made it home, you move into the 5th, the most beautiful stage. And this is healing, rebirth, and a new worldview. The body starts to heal, self-love, self-care, eating well, exercise, stuff like that. You didn't have the bandwidth for that earlier. Now you do. Your mind is healing. You're making new rules, new boundaries based on the road you just traveled. And you have a new worldview based on what you see so clearly now. And the 4 legs of that table, in the beginning, it was all about the physical and the mental. By this point, we're solidly grounded because we're focused on the emotional and the spiritual too. Those are the 5 stages.
All right. I wrote mine down. Don't know if you guys are writing yours down. Number 1, the legs, stabilization. I got that. Okay. Number 2, the trauma. You talked about the trauma.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3 is the big one that I really focused on, is surviving. You do everything to survive. So maybe, you go on the binge eating or the drinking, and that's your thing. I mean, maybe Oreo cookies is your thing. And you wonder why you buy so much Oreo cookies and you had no idea that is your comfort. That is my little nest. All right. Then you kind of move out of it. You kind of grow. Then you adjust. And then sometimes adjusting is one thing you said that I love. I try to teach everybody. You'll start off with 20 friends, but at the end of it, you'll get down to your best 5. You know what I mean? People will leave and travel, and some will call you now and then, but the good ones, right there. I like that. And the last one is the healing process. And you know what happened. You're okay with it. You're letting it go. You're self-healing yourself now, and you figured it out. All right, I got mine written down. Hope you guys written yours down, because that's the best way of understanding everything. All right, so here's what we're going to do. Let's get to, if we can't do it, we call you for help. We like, yes, I wrote down the steps, Charles. I know those are the steps, but I still need someone to help me out. And the best place to go is right here. Let's talk about it.
Yeah. So the PBT Institute, this was based on on what the study proved we need to heal. And what you need is you need to know how to move through the 5 stages. So we have our signature programs, which literally move you through the stages. We have our certified coaches that all specialize in different things. They specialize in narcissism, in reconciliation, in divorce, in addiction. So you get to see our certified coaches. We have master classes with experts you cannot get appointments with. They just come in to serve our community. I'm doing open Q&A, and we have the most amazing and supportive community. These are all people who get it, because here's the thing too, the wrong support does way more harm than good. And if anything will keep you locked in stage 3 like crazy glue, it's talking about your story endlessly without having a plan to move you from stage 3 to stage 4 to stage 5 and beyond. So everything is research-based, proven to help you move through the 5 stages from betrayal to breakthrough. It's all in, at thepbtinstitute.com.
All right, and let's go. It says here, you got different titles, questions and answers, work with us. You can work to get us certified. You have a podcast. So when can we hear your podcast?
Yeah, so we're actually, and I didn't even know this, globally ranked within the top 1.5%. So blessed. And it's called From Betrayal to Breakthrough. So a very niched audience. But if you're struggling to heal physically, mentally, emotionally, psychologically, spiritually, we just have amazing experts every single week.
There you go. And you can catch them all in all the top ones, of course, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio. Just go ahead and take a listen. And I see you're on episode 270. So there's a lot of episodes you guys need to go back and catch up on. Go back and catch some of the replays. It's always great information as well. All right. And then also speaking engagement. Tell everybody if they need it in corporates, because sometimes corporates have workers walking around, and I hate to say the word, like zombies, because they don't know what they're going through and things that are happening.
Yeah.
Talk about how you can come in and speak to them about your speaking engagements.
Yeah. And it's interesting. I very often speak at leadership conferences, and here's why. You want to be this powerful leader in whatever your space is. But if you have this unhealed betrayal, or you have a mindset that doesn't serve, or you're, whatever it is that is jamming you up, you are not showing up in the way that you need to powerfully. So these talks are very, they're high energy, they're inspirational, they're interactive, and they always leave with a powerful next step. So I could speak to the leadership audience, the health audience, because this has a huge health spin. Of course, the relationship audience, but anything that's preventing you from showing up powerfully, that's what needs cleaning up.
All right. Well, let's get into the number 3. It is time for Pick 3. It's now time for Pick 3. This is where you pick 3 questions, and these 3 questions you're going to answer before we let you go and end our interview, all about what's going on. So you get to pick your own 3 questions. So pick between 1 and 13.
Okay, well, it's got to be 4, because 4 kids. It's got to be 8, because the 4 kids, because all of us and the 2 girlfriends is 8 of us.
There you go.
So 4, 8, and 10. Just a nice round number.
See, I was going with your flow, and then you threw me off.
There was no flow after the first 2.
Yeah, I thought 8. I thought she was going to add the dogs into it, and then I'm like, there you go. There's just numbers. But okay, 4, 8, and 10. All right, here we go. Number 4. What are some great resources that have helped you along your way?
Oh, thought leaders. I have learned from so many. I would say, Neil Donald Walsh has been instrumental. Dr. Joe Dispenza, Michael Beckwith. It's endless.
Perfect. Number 8. If you were in my shoes, what question would you have asked yourself that I never asked you?
How do you know if you have post-betrayal syndrome?
And the answer is?
And the answer is take the quiz. It's on the site, thepbtinstitute.com. And you can find out if you do.
Here. I helped them out. There you go. So it's right there. All right. And all you got to do is push the button and take the quiz.
That's it.
All right. Last one. Number 10. Name 2 people, past or present, that you would rather shadow. If you can go back into the past or now, and you just want to walk beside them, follow them, see how they do their day, go out, who are the 2 people that you would follow?
You know who comes to mind? And I've met them, but I haven't shadowed them, and I would love to. And it's Brendan Burchard and Vishen Lakhani from Mindvalley.
Okay, and why those 2 people?
They're so inspiring. I've been a part of their work for years. I love how they both think. They're both amazing thought leaders. I've seen them change directions so many times and just crush it in everything that they do. And I learn a tremendous amount from them. So either of you, Brendan or Vishen, if you're listening, I'd love to shadow you.
Call her now. Send up. Or hey, even if you can't get a hold of her, take the quiz.
There you go. No, they've heard of me. We've traveled the same circles.
All right. Now, the last thing I'm going to ask you before we let you go is somebody might be going through something right now. Mm-hmm. What is one step they can do so they don't go over the edge before they contact you?
Yeah, they could realize they are most likely stuck in stage 2 or stage 3. Healing is predictable. I didn't do anything anybody else couldn't do. So whether you get, one of the books to move you through the stages, you listen to the podcast, whatever it is, do something. Staying stuck is a choice.
Right. Well, there you go. Well, ladies and gentlemen, like I always said, you didn't have to watch, but I'm so glad that you did. Now, question is, where is your mind right now? You're watching this and you're like nodding your head. Mm-hmm. Oh my, yeah, that's me. Oh, okay, that's me. So here's a question. What are you going to do about it? Are you going to sit on your hands? Are you going to call this lovely lady, take the quiz, and get over the hump? I think you should do it, because just sitting here, I realize, guess what? I think I might have some baggage too. And it's okay. The question is, how do you move forward? All right. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you later.
Has come to an end, but the fun doesn't have to stop here. If you have any questions, suggestions, or feedback, head over right now to Twitter and Facebook and like, share, and get involved. Join us next time.
Please be advised that this podcast is meant for educational and informational purposes only and is in no way a replacement for legal or medical advice. The opinions contained within are solely those of the interviewers and interviewees and should be received as so. Those seeking help or advice are encouraged to